Yes, my G's. I hope you like the little intro video, and I've just made a miniature little sample pack. I've just dropped it on my Patreon just now for all paid members. It starts at $1 per month or something like that. But yeah, it's just to give something back to the Patreon supporters. But basically, I still wanted to show you the kind of sounds and how and the samples that I made, because I've really just enjoyed this concept, and it's something that I've always liked in my drum and bass productions, which is basically to layer up some fat kicks and snares with some kind of snare or kind of brushed some brushed drum sounds. And I actually just recorded my friend brushing a snare drum, but you could do it with cymbals as well. But this little mini pack is basically just with brushed snares. So what you've got is this is just the raw recording, right? So it wasn't specifically at drum and bass speed, but it wasn't far off. So I flexed it to make it at 172. So it can go with a little kick and snare kind of rhythm as well, you know. But that one is unprocessed still. And then I've done some different versions that have been processed. So you've got this sort of refined one where I've run it through some convolution reverb and done some EQing and stuff like that. And because the idea is to make it like a background layer. And if you've got a drum kit, you could do this yourself. If you've got some brushes, that'd be even perfect, you know. But yeah, otherwise, you'll have to join Patreon to grab these ones, unfortunately. But anyway, the concept still applies, right? So here's the higher taped version. So this is where I've run it through some tape as well. And I've got a low version here, which is I've kept the speed at 172, but instead of using the flex mode where it keeps the pitch the same and changed the sound quality a little bit, I've used it where it slows the pitch down. And then I did a few versions for that as well. So this sort of this refined version here, and then a taped version as well. But yeah, I wanted to include the raw files as well, so you can do your own processing on, because I just quickly did some refined stuff and some tape stuff, but you could make it completely different as well. But yeah, here's the top loop then. So the top loop was actually quite close to 172. I think I only had to adjust it a little bit. But this is the raw one. Really, really nice. And then slightly different one where it's been pitched down slightly to make it fit. And then I've got a couple of versions on that, a taped version again. Using my OCS 45 free tape plugin and some convolution reverb and that kind of stuff. And then I've done another version, which is a big room sound with a couple of different reverbs on. And what I did for this tutorial was I just grabbed some random kicks and snares, and I sort of tried to track them to the actual top loop, right? Because the top loop, because it's been played realistically by a human, the notes that would represent the kicks and snares are very, very off the grid. And it kind of is great because, I thought maybe I'll move them around, and I thought, no, let's leave it at the realistic recording positions, and I'll move my kicks and snares off the grid to fit it. So that one's really nice, and you've got the taped one, which is cool as well. And even just the raw ones as well sound great on its own. With the kicks and snares, you know, even the pitch one. But yeah, it's two different ideas that I've gone for. It's like one is like using a realistic drum recording and following along with the kicks and snares. So that's one way you could do it. Or you could like completely just take the hits and move them around and put them more to the grid if you want, and just have the sound design but fit it to a more straight rhythm. That's another way you could do it. But yeah, also then just these high snare wash layers as well. Like they're so good for having like that kind of depth in the background of your drums. So you could sort of turn that down and then have it like right in the background if you want. Let me put that back on. You've got this like really nice atmosphere. In the recording, you've got like these little voices as well, because we recorded it at like the venue, and there's like there was people there in the crowd, you know, but it was like the break. So I thought, you know, let me record some stuff like while you're on your break, and it is dope because you have these little like conversational voices, but they just add to the vibe. You know, when you have like all these old school breaks, like funk breaks with like James Brown kind of breaks and stuff, like you always got these like little random human voices in the background, and that like super adds to the vibe. So I was like, I want to actually keep those like human voices in there in the samples, you know. So yeah, some great little samples if you want them on Patreon. It's only €1 or $1 a month to join. I'm not trying to force any of you guys to come and join just so you get these. It's just that I wanted to drop the samples somewhere, and I wanted to give value to the people who already are supporting, because I feel like I don't often give them enough exclusive stuff, you know. But like I said, if you want the samples, it's only €1 to come along and get them. But even if you don't, I hope you still enjoy the video and like the concept, because I just wanted to share like one of my favorite things to do for drum and bass drums, which is to have like realistic drum recordings like in the background, and particularly using like brushes, because you can get really, really soft, like nice textures off of a drum kit, which aren't like you're smashing a hi-hat and you're smashing a kick drum and snare drum, and you've got all these transients, and you're trying to like blend in these heavy transient sounds with already heavy kicks and snares. So like using brushes is just a great way. And even if you don't have these samples specifically, but you've got access to a drum kit, or you know someone who's got some brushes, I'd highly recommend trying to do that kind of stuff to like make some wicked background textures for your own drum and bass drums. All right, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Hope you learned a little bit. Again, just thank you everyone for always supporting the channel. May I remind you as well, if you guys want any production lessons with me, you can book in via the links down below. If you want mixing and mastering work done, email me at info@artifactmusic.com. And if you want preset packs for Serum, Faceplant and Vital, check out my website for that. That's it from me today. More from me very soon. Much love.